All right. Well, hello, everybody. It's Leah Etling with Running USA, and I'm excited to be here today for another 5 questions with Pete Cooper. Pete, welcome.
Thank you for having me on, Leah.
Well, this is going to be great. We're going to learn all about your app, Coopah, which has all sorts of new partnerships in the US. Pete, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hey everyone, I'm Pete Cooper. I'm the co-founder of Coopah, the run coaching app. And we started the app about 3 years ago now. And we've seen a lot of traction in the UK and also now in the US. And ultimately, we're all about helping to coach runners to their next PR.
Very cool. And we've noticed recently that you've had a number of new partnerships that are coming out with US-based events. Talk to me a little bit about that. What's been going on there?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, our whole product helps runners get their PR. We actually guarantee a PR or your money back. And here in the UK, where we started, we quickly realised that our product market fit was for people who were participating in races. So we partnered with a range of events over here in the UK, including the TCS London Marathon. And this year, 2025, believe it or not, we decided that it was the year to come over to the pond and work with you beautiful people in America. And we've had some great success. A lot of thanks to the Running USA and the conference that was in Lowville. Trying to say Lowville, right? Not Louisville. And it was an awesome event for us, a really great mixture of industry insights and networking. And we were able to meet with some really awesome events and actually share with them what Coopah does and how we can help their participants to basically run their best race on race day and hopefully enjoy the run and run more races.
Awesome. Give me some of the feedback you've received from the events that you've been working with. Why do they like using the app? Why is it a good tool for them to pass on to their participants?
So I think one thing is that in 2025, everyone's used to technology. AI is becoming a buzzword that people are throwing about, although I still feel a lot of people maybe don't quite know what AI is and the full potential of it, which also makes it really exciting. But I think a lot of these events maybe don't offer any training, or if they do offer training, it could be PDF plans. What Cooper basically allows is we make run coaching fun. We allow your runners to participate in different ways. So, for example, you could run 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, and it doesn't matter what days you want to run. And it makes running really adaptable and really flexible. So you can go on the app and you can say, I want to run this week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we will give you your plan. And that plan will adapt as you go. And I think what that means is it helps racers know that their participants will get to the start line fit and healthy, finish the race strong, which improves their finisher stats. But most importantly, if someone runs a PR, then it's only great for the city because they're likely to drink and eat more if they're running a PR.
That's for sure. You mentioned AI. Is there an AI component within the app?
Yeah, so we're actually launching Cooper 2.0 in mid-October, and there's going to be much more AI within the app in terms of how we coach you and how we get you those PRs. Currently, the AI function is all on pacing. So depending on how you're performing, your pace will get updated. So you train better, your pace is going to start getting faster. If you train worse or you don't turn up to training, your sessions are going to slow down a little bit and make sure that you're performing safely, because that's also one of the most important things. We need our runners to be running safely, and if they don't, then they're going to cause an injury, and the last thing we want is someone to get injured on the app.
Are there any accommodations for weather at all? I mean, I know in the US that's been a factor that's affected a lot of events. Do you ask participants, hey, what's the expected weather on race day, or how do you handle that piece?
We currently don't. Cooper 2.0, a little bit of a tease, might have an AI function where a user can say, I'm doing a hot run, I'm doing a humid run, it's going to be cold, it's going to be snowy. But currently we don't do anything. You can use the app on the treadmill. So I guess if there's snow, for example, like I know there isn't a lot of the US, you're able to actually train with us on the treadmill. So how we accommodate that is we have paces in there. So we might tell you what pace to run, like what miles per hour and what minute miles to run, but actually we will update it and tell you if you're running on a treadmill, this is the pace you need to set your treadmill to.
Awesome. Now, we talked about feedback from events. How about feedback from the users themselves? What do they like about the app?
I think people like that it makes run training fun. The most recent comment that I've had is that someone messaged me and was like, "I can't believe I just ran 16K without." Sorry, let's restart that. I think the best thing, the most recent feedback I had was from somebody who literally messaged me on the app and was like, "I can't believe I've just ran 10 miles." The app didn't tell me I was running 10 miles. It was a speed session, and after an hour and a half of running, I'd managed to run 10 miles and I'd never ran 10 miles before. So I think people like that it's not just go and run another 3 miles, go and run 5 miles. The app has a load of different running sessions, which just always means it's fun and every week feels different. And also, we also hear a lot that we call our sessions after major cities with marathons, and people love to say, "Oh, I've just completed the Rio, the LA, and that sort of stuff," and compare notes. So I think people just really love how fun the training is. But also, when you get the PR, then they know the training's paid off and they can trust the coach and the process.
Awesome. How about for folks that aren't really competing that much? If, like, for me, for example, I'm more just a maintenance runner at this point in my life. Is that still a good reason to use the app?
Yeah, so our best use case is if you've got a race, because we know that if you've got a race coming up, you're going to train and you're going to become the best runner that you can be. Like you spent money on probably your shoes, your race entry, your race hotel, your race travel. So paying for the app becomes a complete must because if you want to run your best, you need to train. There's no point wearing carbon shoes if you haven't trained, for example. But we do have what we call a just run plan, which is a maintenance. So you can go on and we will ask you a few questions, and then every day we will suggest to you what to run. And it's not always running; it could be some gym work, it could be yoga, and that's ultimately what our just run program does. Because some people just want the accountability to be able to get out the door every day.
Totally. So, what would you like our member events who aren't familiar with you yet to know about Coupa?
I think probably the first one is why we originated in our story. So Coopah is a brand built on kind of ethics, authenticity. I lost my mum and my best friend within 6 months of each other. My mum was a racer. She was a Team GB age group triathlete. She was a Boston Marathon qualifier. And sadly, she had a heart attack at the end of a half marathon and after 2 weeks passed away. I made a promise to my mum that I would run the six major marathons. She had three left: Chicago, New York, and Tokyo. And that never happened because ultimately what happened was I struggled with the grief. I drank far too much. And actually, it got to the point that my friend rang me, my best friend, and said, "Let's go and run a marathon in the Netherlands." I went to run a marathon with him. It turned out that he had a brain tumor. And he died shortly after. At that point, I'd ran two marathons with two people, and both of them were no longer in this world on this world anymore. And that led me to actually planning to take my own life, which I went to attempt. But what then happened was my therapist was like, "You need to run." And when I went for that first run, I remembered my promise to my mum. So for me, running literally did save my life. And I am so passionate to get tens of thousands, 100,000 million people into running because I really believe that running is only good for our mental and physical health. And I think for me, I'm much happier when I'm running. And if I'm running faster than I was last week, then I'm even more happier because I know I'm making mum proud. So I think everything we do with the app is how can we make people be the best performing athlete that they can be? And that's really key for us is that everything we do helps runners be the best person that they can be. And I believe that if everyone in the world ran, then the world would be a better place.
I definitely agree with you, and I'm so sorry for those losses. What do you think that your mom would think of the progress if she were still here today?
How has he managed to build this product? I think she always said to me, "You'll either be successful or you'll end up in a ditch."
Oh, geez.
And I think I took the gamble, and it's slowly paying off. So I'd like to think that she's looking down on me, smiling.
That's awesome. Well, you talked a little bit about the 2.0 version. Any other forthcoming features that you'd like to share?
When's this going live?
Let's see, we'll probably launch it towards the end of September, so it'll be close to your upcoming release date.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, I'll talk about it then. So do you want to just repeat the question and then
Sure.
I'll jump
Yeah,
off?
no problem. So I know you have Coopah 2.0 that's soon to be released. What are some of the new features that people will experience there?
So I think when it comes to run coaching, us along with one other running app really are the pioneers of bringing run coaching into an app and making it a fun, adaptive tech. I think what both of us have done is made running training plans more fun, but we lack making coaching really, really great. I think you will never be able to kind of beat that private one-to-one coach, but not everyone can afford that coach. So the features that I'm really looking forward to are our free coaching features. So we've really focused on now, we've got the best training plans. We know they work. We know they get people results, but actually, how do we go that extra mile? And the audience, when we spoke to race participants, was they want to be coached that extra mile. So there's three features that we're going to be launching. The first is the race confidence. So you'll be able to go onto the app, and each week we will tell you how confident we are that you're going to hit your time. We hear that predictors are actually a bit of an off putter. Like predictors, people love to talk about, but they usually love to talk about it because they're like, there's no way I'm going to hit that time, or that's too slow. Whereas actually, race confidence will go, we're really confident, Leah, that you want to do a 4 hour marathon, and we're really confident that you're going to hit it. Don't worry that other apps or your Garmin watch is predicting that you'll do 3:30, because actually you've trained for a 4 hour 16 weeks ago when you did this. That's what you wanted. Be confident that you're going to go and run that. And then if we aren't that confident, because there will be cases where people haven't trained enough, that's when we give you tips on how to improve your training, how to do things the next week. So we're really trying to think of ways we can scale that coaching ability for runners. The second thing I'm really, really excited about is every week on Coopah on a Sunday, you'll be able to open the app and there will be a weekly report. So we'll say to you, this is your report. This is all the insights we've got on you. And actually, if you change these one or two or three things next week, then we're really confident you're going to become a better runner. So that could be that, you're doing you're not hitting enough long runs, you're not hitting your speed and threshold enough. So we will start to give you tips on how to be a better runner. And then the third thing is really being that great guidance in your pocket, and that's where the AI comes. So we've spent a lot of work on our AI in terms of becoming an expert. So you could say, I'm running the Detroit Marathon, what time does it start? And we will be your race day guide. So you've trained with us for 16 weeks. We'll then help you on event day, telling you how to get to the start line, what coral you're in, all of that kind of stuff. So they're the three features that I'm really looking forward to. And I think that really is like the next stage of run coaching, is moving away from being a training plan and becoming a much more of a more of a helping coach, I guess.
Awesome. Well, you briefly mentioned the conference in Louisville, and I wanted to bring it back to that just for a minute before we wrap up. Why would you say that was a good experience for you? And would you recommend to other companies to come to our next event in St. Louis?
Well, I think the first reason it was a great event for us was just how friendly everybody was. Like nobody knew who we were. Nobody knew who this random English bloke was speaking in a funny accent was, but everyone was so friendly. I think Running USA do a really great job on getting people to network and meet each other. I think the breakout sessions are incredible. You can go into different breakout sessions and learn. So for instance, me, I want to learn what are event directors or race directors struggling with and how can we improve. So I think is a really great learning way. And for me also, it was amazing to learn much more about the American market and things that were maybe missing and how could be improved. And I just think, America is a market leading country. It's a place where people want to learn from. It's got some of the best colleges in the world. And for me, it was amazing to be among some of the best race directors in the world, some of the best brands in the world, and just to have that ability over the days to network and also listen to some really inspiring speakers as well.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciated you being there and look forward to seeing you again next year. Pete, this has been great. Really appreciate you sharing your story. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we let you go?
No, just if you're a race director who would like to learn more, then feel free to drop me an email. I'd love to chat with you. And I am quite often over the pond meeting with race directors. So I'd love to come and see more states in America.
Awesome. What's that email address, just in case anybody wants to hit you up?
It's Pete, Pete, at Coopah, COOPAH.com.
Amazing. Pete Cooper, thank you for your time.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Bye.